Welcome to AI and Machine Learning Deep Dives.
Great to be here.
So I've got one for you. Why did the AI break up with the data scientist?
Hmm. I don't know why.
Because it felt too much. Dimensional reduction.
Huh. Okay. Okay, I like that one. That's fitting.
Right. So today, we're actually diving deep into exactly that sort of thing, a really fundamental technique. Principal Component Analysis, or PCA.
Yeah, PCA. It's basically a statistical method. We use it a lot in machine learning.
Right, to sort of simplify things.
Exactly. You project high-dimensional data, data with tons of features, down into lower dimensions. But the key part, the really crucial bit, is capturing as much variance in the original data as possible.
So you're not losing the important stuff.
Precisely. It transforms this complex data into a new coordinate system. And in this system, the directions, we call them principal components, they capture the biggest variations in your data.
Okay, so what's the big problem this solves for you? I mean, why do we even need to reduce dimensions? Sounds like throwing away information.
Well, it might seem that way, but high dimensionality can actually cause a lot of headaches. It's often called the curse of dimensionality.
Ah, right.
Yeah, you run into issues like computational complexity. Your analysis time can just explode exponentially as dimensions grow.
Okay.
And there's overfitting. Models can start fitting to the noise in the data, not the real underlying patterns, especially when you have too many features.
Makes sense. And visualization too, I guess.
Definitely. Try visualizing data beyond, what, 3 dimensions? It's pretty much impossible for us humans. And often you find redundancy features that are highly correlated and basically telling you the same thing.
So PCA helps clean all that up.
Exactly. It tackles these challenges by simplifying the data, but crucially holding on to its essential characteristics.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit more. How does PCA actually do that transformation? I'm picturing it like trying to find the best angle to look at a really cluttered room to make sense of it.
That's a great analogy, actually. You can think of PCA like fitting a multidimensional ellipsoid, like a stretched sphere, to your data cloud.
Okay.
Each axis of this ellipsoid points along a principal component. Now, if one axis is really short, it tells you there's not much variance, not much spread along that direction. So maybe that's less important.
Ah, I see.
PCA finds the lines or axes that best fit the data. Technically, it minimizes the average squared perpendicular distance from the points to the line. These lines it finds, they form an orthonormal basis.
Orthonormal, meaning they're perpendicular and scaled properly.
Exactly. Perpendicular and unit length. This is super important because it makes sure our new dimensions, our principal components, are linearly uncorrelated, no redundancy.
Got it. So walk me through the steps. How do you make this happen practically?
Right, so the first step, and it's really essential, is data standardization.
Meaning?
You center the data. For each variable, you subtract its mean, and then you scale it by dividing by its standard deviation.
Why is that so important?
It ensures all your features contribute equally. Otherwise, features with larger values or wider ranges might dominate the analysis just because of their scale, not their actual importance.
Okay, standardize first, then comes the math, right? The core of it.
Absolutely. The next step is to compute the covariance matrix of your standardized data. This matrix basically summarizes how all the different pairs of features vary together.
Right, the relationships between them.
Precisely. And from this covariance matrix, we calculate its eigenvalues and the corresponding eigenvectors.
Okay, let me jump in here on eigenvalues and eigenvectors because they sound intimidating but are key. The eigenvalues, essentially, they tell you how much variance each principal component explains, right? They quantify the importance.
Exactly. They're always non-negative. And the bigger the eigenvalue, the more variance that component captures.
And the eigenvectors.
The eigenvectors are the principal components. They are the actual directions in your data space along which the variance is maximized.
So you calculate these pairs.
Yes, and then you sort the eigenvalues in descending order, biggest first, along with their matching eigenvectors. The eigenvector with the largest eigenvalue is your first principal component, PC1, explaining the most variance. The next one is PC2, explaining the most remaining variance, and so on.
And then you choose how many to keep.
You got it. You decide how much variance you want to retain, maybe 95%, for example, and select the top k eigenvectors needed to reach that threshold. These k eigenvectors form your new transformation matrix. You then project your original data onto this smaller set of eigenvectors.
And boom, lower dimensional data.
Lower dimensional data that still captures the essence of the original set.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. Where has PCA actually, made a big impact in the real world? What are some applications?
Oh, it's used in so many diverse fields.
Yeah.
Image compression is a classic one. You can reduce the amount of data needed to represent an image significantly while keeping most of the important visual information. Great for storage and sending images faster.
Makes sense. What else?
In quantitative finance, it's used quite a bit. For risk management, portfolio optimization. It helps identify underlying factors that drive things like interest rate movements, for instance.
I also heard it's used quite a bit in neuroscience. Seems like a field with complex data.
That's absolutely right. In neuroscience, it can help researchers figure out which specific properties of a stimulus make a neuron more likely to fire, or even distinguishing signals from different individual neurons based on the shape of their electrical spikes, their action potentials.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's huge in population genetics, too. Used to summarize variations in human gene frequencies across populations, sometimes even helping to map the geographical locations or ancestry of different groups based on their genetic similarities.
So it really helps find those hidden patterns.
Oh.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you, the listener? PCA is clearly powerful, but like any tool, it's not perfect. Are there limitations or things we need to keep in mind?
Definitely. PCA is fantastic for concentrating signal and reducing noise, but as we mentioned, it's sensitive to how you scale your variables initially. That standardization step is critical.
Right.
And a big one is that PCA primarily captures linear relationships. If your data has a strong nonlinear structure, like a curve or a spiral, PCA might flatten it out and not capture that underlying pattern very well.
So it assumes linearity. What if you have nonlinear data?
Well, there are other techniques like kernel PCA or manifold learning methods designed for that.
Right.
Also, for certain types of data, like where values must be non-negative, think that pixel intensities in astronomy images, something like non-negative matrix factorization or NMF might actually be a better fit.
Yeah.
NMF keeps the components non-negative, which can sometimes lead to more interpretable parts.
So choose the right tool for the job, basically.
Always. Understand your data and the assumptions of the method.
All right, one last one for the road. Why did the data scientists break up with the principal component?
Okay, hit me.
It just felt like they were going in too many orthogonal directions.
Huh. Nice. Pulling it all together there.
So there you have it, principal component analysis. It's really a powerful tool for simplifying those complex data sets, making visualization easier, and just generally boosting the efficiency of your data analysis work.
Absolutely. It empowers you to find those hidden structures, to make sense of what might seem like overwhelming information. It's a good reminder that sometimes less really is more when you're trying to understand your data.
That's all for now, folks. Please like, share, and subscribe for more like this.